You check your bank account and your stomach drops. Payday feels like it lasted 5 minutes. If you think saving money is impossible on your income, I need you to hear this. It's not about how much you make, mate. It's about the 15 habits you haven't tried yet. I'm a personal finance coach, and I've watched people making minimum wage build real emergency funds while six-figure earners stayed broke. The difference isn't luck, it's a system. Today, I'm giving you 15 smart money-saving tips that actually work, even if you're living paycheck to paycheck right now. Now, one of them takes less than 60 seconds to set up, and it could save you hundreds this year without you even thinking about it. Another one, the one most people skip, is the real reason emergency funds fail before they even start. We'll cover budgeting tricks that don't feel like restriction and sneaky expenses quietly draining your account. Plus, one simple rule that instantly tells you if a purchase is actually worth it. Whether you're a student, working 2 jobs, or just tired of living month to month by, this is for you. These strategies are realistic, specific, and built for real life, not a spreadsheet fantasy. Stick with me, because tip number 7 alone has helped viewers save over $1,000. Let's build your smart money system, starting right now. So let's start with something most people get wrong from day one.
Year 1.
This is where we need to focus.
Tip number 1 is track every dollar for 7 days, no exceptions, no skipped purchases, not even your coffee.
Grab your phone right now and write down everything you spend for 1 week. Every coffee, every subscription, every impulse buy at checkout. Most people underestimate their spending by nearly 30%, and that gap is exactly where your savings are hiding.
Once you see the real numbers, something shifts. You stop guessing and start deciding.
And that single shift changes everything that comes next in this video. Tip number 2 builds directly on this, the 50-30-20 rule, simplified for real paychecks. 50% covers needs, 30% covers wants, and 20% goes straight to savings. This isn't a rigid law, Kant. It's a starting map for people who feel like their money disappears with no explanation. And once you have that map, tip number 3 makes it almost automatic.
Tip number 3 is automate your savings, so the decision only has to happen once.
Set up an automatic transfer the same day you get paid, even if it's just $10 or $20 to start. Willpower runs out by the end of the month, but bad. Automation never does. This is the tip I mentioned earlier, FRAR, the one that takes under 60 seconds and works quietly in the background. Think of it like paying your future self first, the same way you'd pay any other bill. One viewer told me this single habit added over $600 to her savings in 3 months, without changing anything else. But automation only works if you avoid the mistake most people make right after setting it up. Don't make it so aggressive that you drain your checking account and end up reversing the transfer a week later. Start small, stay consistent, and increase the amount only once it feels easy, not painful. Now that your savings run on autopilot, let's talk about the sneaky expenses quietly working against you. Tip number 4 is the sneaky subscription audit, and it takes just 5 minutes to find money you're already losing. Open your banking app right now and scroll through last month's charges, which shows every single one, even the small ones. The average person is paying for at least 2 subscriptions they completely forgot they signed up for. Streaming services, unused apps, old gym memberships, they quietly add up to $50 or $100 a month. Cancel what you don't use, and for the ones you keep, ask if a cheaper plan covers exactly what you need. This isn't about cutting joy from your life pie. It's about cutting things you forgot even existed. One student I worked with found 4 forgotten subscriptions and freed up $90 a month just from this one audit. Now set a reminder to do this same audit every 3 months, because new subscriptions creep back in quietly.
But subscriptions are just the surface had. Next, we're going after the impulse purchases hiding in plain sight.
And tip number 5 gives you one simple rule that stops impulse spending before it even starts.
Tip number 5 is the 24-hour rule, and it's the single easiest way to stop impulse buying for good.
Anytime you want to buy something that isn't a necessity, wait 24 hours before clicking purchase. That short pause is enough time for the emotional urge to fade and your logical brain to catch up. Studies show most people who wait a full day end up skipping the purchase entirely, more than half the time.
For bigger purchases, stretch that window to 30 days, rather. The itch to buy almost always fades completely.
This isn't about never buying anything nice, it's about making sure the purchase is a choice, not a reflex. One viewer used this rule to skip an $800 purchase she barely even remembers wanting a month later.
Make it easier by adding items to a wish list or cart, then closing the tab, instead of buying right away.
Combine this with your subscription audit, and you've already closed 2 of the biggest leaks in most people's budgets. Next up is tip number 6. Well, the grocery trick that can cut your food bill without you eating any differently.
Tip number 6 is the grocery ceiling. Pal, set a fixed weekly amount before you ever walk into the store.
Pick a number based on last month's actual spending, then commit to it like it's a bill you already owe. Use a simple trick. Pay with cash or a prepaid card so you physically feel the ceiling instead of just seeing it. People who use cash for groceries spend up to 20% less than people swiping a card on autopilot. Pair that ceiling with a 5-minute meal plan before you shop, so you're buying with a purpose, not wandering the aisles. This isn't about eating less or eating worse or pine. It's about shopping with intention instead of impulse. A family I worked with cut their monthly grocery bill by over $150 using just this one tip. That's tip number 7 I promised you earlier, pair. The one that helped viewers save over $1,000 in 90 days. It combines everything so far, tracking, automating, and the 24-hour rule PO into one weekly money habit. Let's break down exactly what that habit is right after this. Tip number 7 is the weekly money check-in, DAO. Just 10 minutes, same day, every single week. Pick one day, maybe Sunday morning, and sit down with your coffee to review what came in and what went out. Check 3 things only: your account balance, upcoming bills, and how close you are to your savings goal. People who check in weekly catch problems while they're small, instead of discovering them as a crisis at month's end.
This is also where you connect tips 1 through 6. You're watching all your habits work together in real time.
This isn't about stress or guilt, pod. It's 10 calm minutes that replace weeks of financial anxiety. This single habit, done consistently, is exactly what helped one viewer save over $1,000 in 90 days.
Put it on your calendar right now before you forget, because the habit only works if it becomes routine.
With your check-in habit locked in, it's time to tackle the thing most people avoid talking about entirely: debt. Tip number 8 will show you exactly how to pay it down faster without feeling overwhelmed.
Tip number 8 is the debt snowball, and it works with psychology instead of fighting against it.
List every debt you have, smallest balance to largest, and ignore the interest rates for a moment.
Pay minimums on everything, then throw every extra dollar at the smallest balance until it's completely gone. That first payoff gives you a real win fast, and that momentum is what keeps most people going long-term. If you're more motivated by math than momentum, the debt avalanche targets your highest interest rate first instead. Either method works, The best one is simply whichever one you'll actually stick with. One viewer paid off 3 small debts in 4 months using this exact method and said the momentum felt unstoppable. Whichever method you choose, automate the extra payment too, using the same automation habit from tip number 3. But before we go further, there's one costly mistake that undoes all of this debt progress in a single moment.
Tip number 9 will show you exactly how to avoid it, and it starts with a habit called the emergency fund shield. Tip number 9 is the emergency fund shield. How? The one mistake proofer that protects everything you've built so far.
Here's the costly mistake: paying off debt aggressively with 0 savings, so one flat tire sends you right back into debt.
Before attacking debt aggressively, build a starter fund of at least $500 to $1,000 first.
That small cushion absorbs life's surprises, so you never have to reach for a credit card again out of panic. Once your debt is gone, grow that fund to 3 to 6 months of essential expenses, using the same automation habit. This isn't about hitting a perfect number overnight, Tweemids. It's about never being one bad week away from a crisis. One viewer built her entire $1,000 shield in 6 weeks using nothing but her subscription savings from tip number 4.
Keep this fund in a separate account from your everyday spending, so you're never tempted to dip into it casually.
With your shield in place, we can finally talk about making your money grow, not just protecting what you have. Tip number 10 is the simplest way to start investing, even if you're starting with less than $50. Tip number 10 is start investing small, using roundups so you invest without ever feeling it in your budget. Many banking apps round every purchase up to the nearest dollar and quietly invest the spare change for you. It feels like nothing day to day, but compounding turns those small amounts into real money over time. Just $10 a week invested consistently can grow to over $5,000 in 10 years without adding a cent more. You don't need to pick stocks or time the market. A simple low-cost index fund does the heavy lifting for you. This isn't about getting rich overnight, bud. It's about letting time do the work while you focus on the habits, not the noise. A student I worked with started with roundups alone and had over $300 invested before he even noticed. Set it up once today, forget about it, and let tip number 3's automation habit handle the rest. We've covered tracking, automating, cutting, and growing, and TAR. Now let's move into the mindset shifts that make all of it last. Tip number 11 starts with a mindset shift that changes how every dollar feels to you, starting today.
Tip number 11 is the lifestyle inflation trap. How? The silent reason raises never seem to make you richer.
Every time your income goes up, your spending quietly rises to match it, so the raise disappears before you notice. The fix: every time you get a raise, send half of it straight to savings before it ever touches your checking account. Still get to enjoy half of every raise. You just stop letting all of it vanish into invisible upgrades. Tip 12 pairs perfectly with this. Negotiate your recurring bills once a year, because most companies expect you to. Call your internet, phone, or insurance provider and simply ask if there's a better rate. The answer is yes, more often than you'd think. One 10-minute call like this saved a viewer over $400 a year on insurance alone.
Tip 13 is just as simple. Build one small side income stream, even if it only brings in $50 a month.
Sell unused items, freelance a skill you already have, or pick up a few hours of gig work, Pike. Every extra dollar accelerates your goals.
That extra income should go straight into savings or debt, following the exact same habits you've already built.
Tip 14 is the value check. Before any non-essential purchase, ask what this money could become in a year instead. A $40 impulse buy isn't just $40 dove. Invested, that same money could be worth $50 or $6 down the road. This isn't about guilt over every purchase, Pav. It's about making your money decisions consciously instead of automatically.
And that brings us to tip 15, the one that ties every single habit in this video together. Review and adjust monthly.
Once a month, step back and look at all 14 habits together. Pry, what's working, what feels forced, and what needs to change.
Your finances aren't static, and neither is this system. Adjust the numbers as your income and life change.
15 tips, one system. Track it, automate it, cut the leaks, shield it, grow it, and review it every single month. You don't need a bigger paycheck to start a pine. You need to pick just one tip from this video and start today. Save this video, come back to it whenever you need a reminder, and share it with someone who's ready to start too. Smart money saving isn't about sacrifice, Pod. It's about control. Your financial freedom starts with the very next decision you make.